Winters in Newfoundland are tough. If you're not buried in 60 centimeters of snow, the sun stays hidden for weeks on end. The colors of life fade into a blinding light, like God beamed the sun through a giant softbox directed at my town. Nothing has definition anymore. It's just an endless gradient of white. I've tried to occupy my time with work and other hobbies, but sometimes I just want to curl up on a couch with my cat, close my eyes, and wait for spring. This eternal winter also means I can't get out and explore my photography. This idea of exploration has been playing with my mind lately. Outside quad rides from spring to fall. I'm kind of a reluctant explorer. I love the idea of exploring, taking photographs, and experiencing new things, but I rarely do it. Maybe it goes back to childhood, when every Saturday my father would come down and say, all right, everybody, let's get in the van. And because we lived in Southern Ontario, you could go literally anywhere in a day. And so I associated this idea of exploration with family, with friends, with somebody else. And so this notion of exploring by myself became anthema. This thing that you just weren't supposed to do, or maybe this thing that was scary, or maybe this thing that was just out of reach for somebody like myself. I've been watching a lot of shows lately, of travel shows, people who have no fear of going into new locations or new places, and they seem to just exist in a different plane where they're able to push themselves to explore the world and experience new things without fear. And I really want that for myself. You know, as I get into midlife, I'm really thinking about the things that hold me back, the things that I don't explore or experience because I'm too timid or too afraid. And it's not that I don't have opportunities to travel, it's not that I don't have opportunities to experience new things, but there's just something holding me back. And I don't want that to hold me back anymore. So in part, that's why I'm creating this YouTube channel. situations like today when the sun is out and the sky is blue, it just kind of makes me feel a little more lighthearted, a little more open to just getting outside and exploring. But these days are so rare and they're so few, and I just got to make the best of it while I can. A day like today makes me feel very alive. The sun is out, blue skies, the whole bit, and it's just beautiful. You know, spring is just around the corner. You can start to see cracks in the ice, and the end of our wearied winter days are soon coming to conclusion. But before long, the clouds are going to come out of the south and the sun is going to be masked by them. And sometimes that's like life. Sometimes in life, clouds come out of nowhere. They block the sun, and you wonder if winter is ever going to end. But it will. And I'm very hopeful, especially on days like today. A day like today is actually worth it to get out of the house, and not to say that other days aren't, but these days where the sun is out and the snow is just hitting the trees just right in the woods, you don't get these every day. You might get a little bit of the snow on the trees, but you might not get the blue skies and the sun. And so you need to really take advantage of days like today in Newfoundland and Labrador. I really think at the end of the day that exploring is a mindset. And sometimes that mindset can get polluted by all kinds of doubts, self-doubts even, about what you're capable of and where you can go. But if you can somehow convince yourself to just do it, to just get out and do what you need to do, then you get a day like today where it's just phenomenal, yes, but you also get times when it's not phenomenal, and yet you can find small, interesting experiences, even in not so phenomenal day. Not everything is about the perfect picture or the perfect video or the perfect setting. And I think that's one of the things that in our culture, especially on YouTube and different places, is that there's this caliber or this kind of unspoken expectation that you need to have everything cinematic and you need to have everything just perfect before you can get out and do exploration with your photography or your video or any of those things. And so I think for me, this is just a reminder that sometimes you just need to kick yourself in the pants, get out and do something, and you never know what you might explore. You know, when I look out at this pond, I don't feel so bad. It's actually one of my favorite spots along this trail. It's exactly where you can start to see spring come in. You can start to see the winter trying to grab onto his last little bits of frozenness. And yeah, it's just a beautiful spot. It reminds me that all winters do end eventually. You know, I began to think about how I can get out there and explore. How can I push myself? And it's days like today when you're rewarded for pushing yourself, when I'm rewarded for getting out and choosing to explore. The sun's uncharacteristically coming out in a way that I did not expect it to. And I'm just sitting here along this beautiful pond, reminded that all winters do end and that some exploration is worth the risk. It's worth getting out and doing what you need to do to get perspective, to get insight, to maybe just calm down and experience something new. Also note that my camera battery died, so I couldn't take those nice shots of the pond. So much for tranquility. But I think the sun makes up more than enough for it. On my way over here, I was getting so frustrated because we never get sun here in Newfoundland. And when you get an afternoon, you kind of try to take advantage of it. I'm realizing that I'm late to pick up my boy from school. So that leisurely afternoon just turned into, I gotta get off the trail, and I think I'm about half a kilometer away from the car, and I got 10 minutes to get home. So we'll see how this goes. See the car in sight. Oh, there it is.
Too little, still too late. Can't help but fight my fate. Can't help but bring it up.
I think I made it back in time to pick up my son. And just about the right time because the sun is starting to go down. But if anything taught me today is that you have to get out and explore. You have to push yourself even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels frustrating to do so. Exploration pushes us to the limits. It pushes us to think outside of ourselves and get up off our feet and do something with our life.
Really, I shouldn't have. 'Cause really, you could have to. Instead, you just cut me loose. Spent a lot of love on you.
Anyways, overslept my alarm by like half an hour.
Can't help but eat my words.
Oh man, this is like super cold out. I already feel my nostrils just blowing up. Okay, now I gotta find my vehicle.
Spent a lot of love